Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Wednesday the 15th of January and it seems that Meghan Markle has gotten over leaving the big piling poo that she left in Britain and has been seen out smirking like a Cheshire cat. She took a break from hiding to visit a woman's shelter in Canada where she took a seaplane to go and visit them. Luckily, she felt strong enough mentally and didn't feel it too taxing to hop on a seaplane, leave her $14 million mansion that she's staying at, and go and visit these ladies. Well, I commend this. I think it's great that she's shining this light on this particular shelter. What I do have umbrage with is the fact that she's dropped this humongous bombshell on Britain, left it quaking. The monarchy is in tatters, so it seems, yet she is seen smiling, happy as ever, going about as if nothing ever happened. The cheek of it. This is a slap in the face to everybody that lives in Britain that has been following the recent events of last week. The whole country has been turned upside down by this woman, yet she quite happy to go and flaunt it. And I think that is the problem, isn't it? She really doesn't care. Why should she? She's a narcissist. Narcissists tend to have this personality trait of persistent grandiosity. They have this excessive need for admiration and they cannot feel empathy. But those are just to name a few. She ticks every single one of them, in my personal opinion. This is just fun to her, I think. She's almost dangling it in front of our faces. Look, I've got what I wanted. And what gets me is that she and Harry have been constantly bleating on that they wanted a private life. This isn't private. If you wanted a private life, you would stay private. You wouldn't be posting or making sure that the place that you visited posted. You'd literally say, I'm doing this under the guise of secrecy. I don't particularly want any publicity for this. I'm doing this just purely to boost your spirits. Because that's what's been said. She did this to boost their spirits. Then why is it all over the news? That's public. She wanted privacy. There's one thing I've always said about Meghan Markle, and that is she's not dumb. She knows exactly what she's doing and how to play this. What she's doing now is remodeling herself as the humanitarian for Canada, and she's going to take the crown of the Golden One or the Queen of Canada. That's what the aim is, I do believe. Be prepared to see more of her about than you ever did before, because she has to cement her golden egg, and that is Justin Trudeau. If they are going to foot the security bill, which it looks like they are, and incidentally, it's not £1 million. A security boss from LA has come out and said that the quote saying it's going to cost about £1 million per year is ludicrous, and it's more likely to be £3.4 million per year. Well, Canada, I hope that you're prepared to foot that bill, because one thing I do know, she wants the best of everything and nothing will ever be good enough, and she will take you for everything that it's worth. She will really go to town on making sure she gets the best security possible by citing that she is an internationally protected person. Incidentally, that has actually been removed from their manifesto website. It no longer says that, but I know it was there. Unfortunately, I didn't get a screenshot, but I did print out the wording. I have it in black and white printed out. Mark my words, she's going to be the bane of our lives from now on because she thinks she's won. Little does she know, I actually think the Queen is having the last laugh. Watch out for those titles. I don't think they're going to hold on to them much longer if she behaves like this, because she's been citing that she wanted privacy. They don't want this royal life, yet if she's constantly in the media, they will take action. There was an interesting blind that was put up last night by Blind Gossip. I've talked about Blind Gossip many times, but this one was named Stockholm Boy. It basically implied that the royal family were well aware of her antics and of what she's doing to Harry. But also, he knows the score too. but feels trapped. What they're doing by releasing this statement that they did on Monday was leaving that door open because they know that this will go down the pan. What they're doing is making sure that he knows that they are in full support of him. So when it does go down the Swanee, he can come back. That's all this is. That statement was entirely protecting Harry in the future because they know that the longevity to this marriage is shaky at best. They can see her for what she is with the things that she's played. They know that she's the one that has been dropping all of these gossips and feeding the tabloids, using her friends to incite gossips and rumour mills. They know it all comes from her because before she came on the scene, Buckingham Palace didn't really have a lot of leaks. Nobody really knew what was going on behind closed doors. She comes along and it's literally like the floodgates opened and everybody's skeletons come tumbling out the cupboard. Now, blind gossip implies that the most frequent word that is heard within the palace walls about her is duplicitous. They know that from the beginning she has said or done whatever she needed to do to capture Harry, all while planning to do the exact opposite after marriage. They call it the long con. Now, us on Twitter have said that this is exactly what she's been doing. She has manipulated the situation and it's the long con. She knew exactly what the plan was all along, and it was to isolate Harry. The first part of her plan is complete. The second part of her plan lies on those titles. Without them, I don't see this popularity continuing. There will be a short level of interest, maybe a couple of years, but without the Duke and Duchess titles and the HRHs, not many people will give them the time of day after a couple of years because they're not royalty. He might be royal blood, but what will happen is that she will make sure that that status is implied in everything. She'll go full throttle and implement a global master plan to dominate the media, the business world, everything. She will use those titles to the hilt if she has them. If she doesn't have them, I don't see her going anywhere really. The shine will lose its shine eventually. At the moment, she's the most talked about woman in the world. But how long will that last without those titles? What you also need to understand is that her name is mud in Britain right now. Nobody will touch her. Her patronage at the National Theatre have done a scathing quote saying she visited us on Monday morning and she acted as if nothing was happening. She talked about the future plans on how that we can build on using the Sussex royal name and how much energy that she wanted to bring, and then dropped this humongous bomb on Monday evening. They are flummoxed and quite disheartened that this could happen. They're now thinking, what the hell's going to happen to our patronages? Thanks, that's wonderful. Isn't that great? So her name is Mud. How can she recover from that? Well, quite frankly, she doesn't use Britain again. She's going full hilt now for Canada and America. That's where her focus will be on. All her attention will now be this humanitarian drive. But all it is really is to get her in the news. She wants to be a global superstar. She's got it at the moment, but how long will it last? This women's shelter visit was purely a PR stunt. She didn't need to do this. Did she need to actually announce it to the media? Because the paps were there. It was Splash News that took the pictures. So they're normally tipped off to where somebody will actually be. She's getting PR. She is using it to force her name in the papers. But for me, it shows you just how much of a coward she really is. She created chaos, then fled to Canada, and then when the summit was complete, she thinks that she's got what she wants. She's all smiles again, visiting the women's shelter. She never really cared about the monarchy, and this is evident with this visit. She's literally sticking two fingers up saying, I can still continue, you can't stop me. I bet she's rubbing her hands with glee because she thought this long con would take a little longer to actually implement. Nope, she's done it in 2 years and quickly I might add. She's basically hooked a prince, got the royal wedding of her dreams, she's got global fame, she's got every single luxury that her heart could desire. She's staying in a $14 million mansion that's not even hers, and she's taken the prince. She's got everything she needed, but what she doesn't have at the moment is the certainty that her titles will go with her. Everything rests on those. With those titles, she can be absolute global dominance, and she will make billions. Without the titles, not so much. What this visit has clearly shown is that privacy is not an issue for Meghan. It may be for Harry, but it's definitely not for Meghan. They claim they want privacy, yet just a day after the summit, she's all over the media smiling like a Cheshire cat. It's at polar opposites, isn't it? She says one thing and does another. But that's just Meghan Markle all over, isn't it? What I also would like to add is that she took a seaplane. Now, it says that the Duchess sped 22 miles from Vancouver Island Ocean side mansion to Victoria Harbour Airport, where she boarded a Whistler Air seaplane for the mainland. 22 miles in a seaplane. There's a perfectly good ferry port at Swartz Bay, only approximately 3 miles away from the mansion that she's staying. And guess what? That is a lower carbon footprint than a seaplane. Again, it's the hypocrisy of it, isn't it? She just wants to be noticed, and she knows that this is the way to go about doing it. Use a plane, get in the papers. And this will be her format for the future. What I'd really like to know is what's going to happen to Sussex Royal, because they are no longer royal. Can they continue with that Instagram tag? Who knows? Let's keep watching. But what do you all think? Do you think that this was purely a PR exercise, or do you think it came from the goodness of her heart? Do you think it was a bit too sudden to be grinning like a Cheshire cat while Britain licks its wounds after it's been markled? As always, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. Thank you to everyone that has donated to my channel. I'm overwhelmed with your generosity and kindness. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon.